One of the most glorious sights in astronomy is that of an eclipse. And there are two types of eclipses, solar eclipses and lunar eclipses. Today I wish to concentrate on the so-called blood moons. There's going to be a blood moon in September of this year. Now let's unpack what's going to happen. Is that one has the Earth over here, you've got the sun, and then the Earth, and then the moon. The sun, the Earth, and the moon. And so the shadow of the Earth, the sun's over here, the shadow of the Earth falls onto the moon. And when that happens, the moon turns a glorious red color. I remember as a young boy, aged about 15 years old, gazing up at these lunar eclipses. And a total lunar eclipse is absolutely stunning because the moon literally turns blood red. But that's got no theological inference, as I can see, whatsoever. Why? Well, first of all, what is the path of totality? In other words, where will we see the blood moon from in September? Well, we'll see it wherever it's dark, wherever it's night. So we'll see it sweeping over Africa, into Europe, into Asia, into Australia. And so immediately again on the social media is all this hype that this has got great theological significance and it's got to do with biblical prophecies and that it's got to do with the coming of Jesus and so on and so on and so on. Nothing could be further from the truth. Why? Because blood moons, a total lunar eclipse, is a very ordinary astronomical event, meaning that it happens all the time. Once every, say, 2 or 3 years, total lunar eclipses are seen from different locales on the Earth, and there's nothing, while they are exceedingly beautiful to watch, this particular blood moon over Jerusalem on September 7, 8, somewhere around there, has got zero eschatological or theological inferences with regard to the coming of Jesus and what we are actually seeing above Jerusalem, on Jerusalem's celestial dome, the moon turning to blood. It's happened thousands of times before. It will happen thousands of times in eons to come. It's a very regular astronomical event, a total eclipse of the moon, a total lunar eclipse. But there have also been some strange claims around this blood moon. For example, that Saturn is visible and that Saturn represents the kingdom of darkness. Nothing could be further from the truth. Saturn is one of the most glorious planets in our night skies, for example, or in the morning skies. And again, as a young boy, I well remember looking at the planet Saturn through my telescope, and it's a glorious, glorious object flooded with light from the sun, reflected sunlight back. You see the glorious rings around Saturn. The kingdom of darkness, for certain, no. And then claims are made that the moon turning to blood, the moon is representative of the Messiah. Nothing could be further from the truth. You see, what's happening here is that people who are not trained in Astronomy 101, or even worse than that, not trained in astronomy at all, happen to hear that there's a total lunar eclipse over Jerusalem. And so they immediately run into the Bible and trying to make theological inferences. Let's just set this with a foundation of truth, as I always like to do here at Reasons to Believe Africa. And so it's mixing fact that there's a total eclipse of the moon in September of this year with a lot of inferences, claiming the moon is representative of Jesus and that this is extremely significant because it's happening over Jerusalem. As a professor of astronomy, let me assure you, nothing could be further from the truth regarding the wonders of a total eclipse of the moon and then delving and making inferences which have got no astronomical or theological inferences or connections whatsoever.